Hi, Michael and Avalon. How are you?
Hey Jack, good thanks.
Good, Jack.
Had a good day? Busy?
Really good day. Yeah, can't complain.
Well, first off, thank you for coming on to do an online testimonial. It's really vital in relation to new clients coming on board with Unlock Your Financial Future. The common denominator when they're asking a question is, who are you, what are you, and the underlying foundation is, can they trust us? Unlock Your Financial Future. Is it a good experience? This testimony is going to be really relevant for that. So before we start, if you can just give just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
So between us, we've got 3 businesses. My main business is I'm an electrician, run my own company, which keeps me extremely busy. We've also just built our own custom built camper van, which we've started hiring out. And then I'll let her explain what she does.
Yeah, so I work part-time and 4 days a week, and then the other Friday, Saturday, I work on my own business, doing website builds and design and branding. So I'm working hard on building that up till eventually I can let go of my part-time work. But the camper van business keeps me busy as well, so there's plenty happening.
Yeah, so you're to me, in the years I've known you guys, you're very innovative and always stretching and growing, which is awesome. And we'll get a little bit more into that in the wealth creation journey. How I see you very different than some guys your age that are going out buying owner occupiers with big debt. So we'll talk about that later. So how long was it before you wanted to start your wealth creation journey? How long before you met me?
A few years. So I probably spent a fair bit of time collecting as much information as I can. So reading books and seminars and stuff like that. And I was working a little butt off and saving my money, but then just didn't really know how to take that first step. So I think it was then, I still recall I was sitting out the front of a job at Saratoga, Jack, when I had our first conversation. I remember that phone call because it was almost, it was just a bit of a relief because I felt like I then had direction or something to work towards, because there's so much information out there, and taking that first step really was the scariest part for me.
Yeah. And how about you, Ab?
Well, it's more, Mike's more being focused on that sort of thing, and I feel like I'm in more of a support role. Personally, I came from a family that didn't really have much financial abundance, so I struggled to sort of picture that for myself. But because of Mike's determination in building our financial security and getting us set up, it's slowly converted me onto that path as well. So as soon as we knew that we had that option with you, and that like it was just so clear, we knew we could totally trust you, it made that decision really easy.
Yeah, and I really honor that what you just said, because we all have different mindsets when we're raised, and it's brilliant that you're open-minded. And you might not know it all now, but you've trusted me, you've trusted Michael, you've trusted the process, and it is new for you. And it's a new learning curve for you, which for me, I see in the years I've known you, I've seen it not only on your wealth creation, but in the way you approach work and job, and you're self-employed now. So I've just watched you grow and grow and grow, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So one of the next questions is, what was the main reason you decided to engage Unlock Your Financial Future, help you with your wealth creation journey?
I suppose meeting with you, Jack, when we had the initial meeting and you ran through the processes, helped a lot with helping us gain an understanding of where we sort of sat financially and what we could do, what the options were. Once we had that face-to-face meeting after the phone call, it was kind of a no-brainer, because for me, time was such a crucial commodity, and if I was to do all that stuff by myself, I don't know how I would do it. I don't know if I could do it. It would suck a lot of energy away, and doing what we're doing. We're just so time. We just need to make the most of our time as it is. So being able to outsource that stuff and have the trust in you was a huge, tick the boxes for us.
Yeah. And in relation to that, you've in the time period that you've engaged Unlock Your Financial Future, you've bought 2 properties. And so how would you describe the process in relation to communication and timing and expectations of the whole project and the support?
Yeah, I mean, the processes that you have is probably one of the key elements with us being comfortable moving forward with going with the investment properties, because everything's so systemized. So the communication between you and all your other partners, it was basically all we had to do was reply to the emails, make sure we were signing the paperwork when it was ready to go. And I mean, even sometimes if we were a little bit slack, you can assure that you've got a phone call from one of the guys or they're chasing you up. So it was amazing. It made a difference in. I don't think we would have done it. I'd probably be sitting there reading books right now if we didn't have your help.
Yeah.
Not taking action.
Well, and that's really important, isn't it? It's like that's one of the biggest regrets, is that people say to me, we wish we'd acted sooner. We just didn't know what to do or how to do it. So and that's why it's really powerful, because these testimonials, because it shows that we're all time poor and we all want to get ahead. And that's what we're here for at Unlock Your Financial Future, to help people with that process. So my next question is, what do you see are the main benefits of working with Unlock Your Financial Future as opposed to you guys trying to do it yourself?
I don't think it would be possible to do it ourselves. Like the amount of work that you had done and presented to us, like all the information about the different areas, the different options, all the legal aspects. Like it was like a one-stop shop for everything you need from start to finish. And when we went through that process, it was so easy and streamlined for us, but it did make me think, there's no way that we would be able to do that on our own. Like it would have been so time-consuming and so stressful to try and figure that out. I just can't imagine it, to be honest.
Yeah, if you did do it yourself, I can't imagine the hours that you would put in to create the product that you handed to us. I suppose with all the research and stuff that you do, especially with the areas where the properties that you have, that you present, there's so much data on that area in particular and why that place is desirable. That'd be a huge oversight if you did do it by yourself, or if you did, it just would. Yeah, I can't imagine the time it would take.
Yeah, and also when I finish this testimonial, I'm going on to another client, and they're an existing client, and they were looking actually to buy a principal place of residence, what they're thinking of moving into in the next 5 years, and I left them to it. And the brokers engaging in the finance, and where this is leading to is that the builder is a fixed price contract. I know what builders to deal with, communication, build time, etc. And the comment from this client I'm going to talk to in a minute is like, oh my gosh, like it's nothing like you, Jackie. They want, they pull you in on an advert, and then you realise there's all these ongoing costs and nothing's clear, or communication, you don't really know what you're getting. And she goes, I'm really scared. I just don't like your system's so different to that experience. So what we do is definitely prevent you from the pitfalls, and and to me, you've got the best builders, so which is great, which is massive as well.
We really liked with the builds. Well, firstly, the turnaround time was extremely efficient,
Yes.
and the communication the whole way along. Mike was getting emails with progress updates and photos, and you just felt like you kept in the loop, and you know where you're at each point along the way. So you never kept in the dark, which I think is a big benefit. Absolutely.
Yeah. Communication and the timing of it as well, because you're holding that investment property as it gets built over that period of time. And that's again one of the biggest questions at the start of all of this. What's the build time? Because people are thinking, well, I've got to pay that as that gets built. but I mean, you know, as you know, building 2, they've been built well in time, which is great.
Yeah.
So, in general, what are the main advantages of working with the referral team, the brokers, the builder, the solicitor? How do you find we all come together as a team?
Yeah, team's definitely a good word for it. You guys work really well together, and it seems like seamless communication with the steps. So you sort of bounce from working with you initially, legal teams there, brokers there, accountants there. It's just really good communication across all those parties, because once again, if you had to organise those parties individually, it'd be hard to get that glue that you guys have. So that's a huge advantage with the systems that you have in place.
Yeah, it's a very cohesive team. Everyone working together.
Yeah, no, good points, guys, because it's they've all got their own businesses, their own licenses, and it really is your our number one priority, helping and supporting, making sure everything's moving along smoothly, and if something does go south, that we're here to help and support you. I'm going to ask the last question, and then I am going to go, because I'm just in awe of you two. I think you two are an amazing young couple of the 21st century. So I'm going to ask a very specific question to you two. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you, would you be happy to recommend Unlock Your Financial Services, which you already have given me lots and lots of referrals, so I'm very grateful. But would you be happy to recommend Unlock Your Financial Services?
Yeah, of course. And we've got 2 other mates that have done bills or are in the process of doing it with you at the moment. So I think in both those conversations, it was basically me explaining what I had done and maybe a curiosity from them. So without being pushy at all, we've kind of just given them your number and explained what we've done, where we're at, and then our experience with it, and you took it from there. So yeah, more than happy.
Yeah, no, that's been great. So guys, the question that I want to pose to you, which is quite unique to the questions I asked in my testimonial, you're in your early 30s, you've bought 2 investment properties, you rent, and you know, you've got your little van that you've done, and you spent 40,000 doing it up. I watch you have lots of fun and great memories, and then you've also, that's what I was saying, you're so innovative as well. You also hire that out, and so how do you see your life compared to somebody your age, where they've gone and bought the home, and they've gone and got all that bad debt? How do you compare? It's not necessarily, I shouldn't say comparison, but the freedom, the wealth. How do you see their lifestyles and their mindset compared to yours?
Well, suppose we don't have the looming pressures of a mortgage to pay each week, but yet we still have the benefits in the form that we've got 2 tenants that are paying down those mortgages without creating any financial stress for us. So definitely gives us a lot of freedom to live the life that we want to do, and we're very appreciative of the life that we live, because it hasn't really restricted us. It kind of just ticks over in the background, and that was definitely a huge worry for me in the beginning, was going into a mortgage and such a huge commitment. You don't know what type of financial burden it will have, but I felt like once the first one was done, it just ticked away in the background and does its thing. You obviously get the communication from the property managers with anything to do with the tenants of the property. So we feel super grateful that we're in this position, because we've got 2 properties that are ticking over and doing their thing, and we don't have the burden of worrying about whatever your mortgage is each week. Those repayments, they don't really exist for us at this point.
Yeah, and we get to live where we want to live in Terrigal. That's the beach in the main town, and we've got cheap rent. Like, we barely even notice the rent coming out. It's so cheap. And just the lifestyle here is just so good. We get to do everything we want. We never have to be worried about money or penny pinching or anything like that. We eat out, we go to cafes. We just don't have to worry. And I think that's such a big difference, because we do have a lot of friends who they took that traditional road where they looked at their parents who just bought a house. You grow up, you get in a relationship, you get married, you buy a house, you have a kid. But the difference is it's not the same situation anymore. And to try and follow in the footsteps of what a lot of the previous generation did is not working for people, and they're ending up strangled by debt for the next 30, 40 years or whatever it may be. So I think our approach has been a more unconventional way, but it's really working for us and what we want out of life.
Wow, that's so powerful from both of you. I mean, Michael, that was, even, the onset of, the debt level, which, when you're first doing your first property, whether it's your home or your investment, you're always like, how's that going to affect my lifestyle today? And to actually realize you did too, and it didn't affect it.
Yeah.
And that you are living where you want, you're renting where you want to live, where some people think that because they've got to go buy a house, they go move out to the area, and they don't need to. They can go and buy investment properties and rent. And I think it's very powerful, this, because I've known you for many, many years, and I've watched you grow, and it warms my heart to see, because I see these young couples getting this wrong debt the wrong way round. And and that puts massive stress on anyone, so there is a better way of doing it.
That pie chart that you showed us on the first property with the debt, and how you said you don't want any debt that you have to pay yourself, like the red debt, remember that? And then if you can get essentially all or most of it paid by somebody else, I just never forgot that. And so now I'm like, no,
that's what got me out, the circle, because it's so powerful. When you're looking at that circle, when they live in their own home, it's all theirs, isn't it? It's 100% theirs.
There's no other option to pay it off faster without working yourself into the ground. So to have two properties paying themselves off, and like you said, being able to spend $40,000 on a camper van that we just absolutely love, and we now get to share with other people along with our lifestyle, is like, we couldn't be more grateful.
And what website do people go to, guys, to have a look at this beautiful camper van?
nirvanacampers.com.au.
It is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Gaining traction.
And you do live the lifestyle, and I think it's important. It's absolutely wonderful to watch. Which is great. So I just want to say thank you for the testimonial, and I think you're very, very powerful as a couple. For I think today, where and especially in this COVID-19, where everyone's like going, it's crazy all over Australia. You guys you've got two investment properties. You've got a great lifestyle. You're always moving forward in your growth, in everything. Even your health, and which I think is great. So it's awesome to be watching you grow. So thank you.
And thanks, Jack, for everything you've done for us to get us to this position. We do really appreciate it, and feel very lucky that we've had your support along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. That's what life is. Hey, it's beautiful, because it's beautiful. Like you two. In your businesses, you're very good at what you do. It's lovely. It's lovely seeing the outcome, which is great.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Nice, Jack.
See you, lovely. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.